Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into exactly why innovation and emerging technologies are the absolute keys to sustaining company success. If you've ever found yourself wondering what actually separates the organizations that totally thrive from the ones that are just barely scraping by, well, you're in exactly the right place.
All right, let's kick things off with a massive question. How on earth do modern organizations actually adapt and survive in a rapidly changing global landscape? Let's face it, just having a great product simply doesn't cut it anymore. When we look at the sheer, dizzying velocity of structural changes happening worldwide right now, companies are being forced to shift away from holding these long-standing, stable positions. Instead, they're having to react to constant, almost daily disruption.
We're living in what is commonly known as a VUCA world. That stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And this whole environment, it's fueled by our intense global interconnectedness and these rapid-fire technological shifts. In a VUCA world, merely maintaining the status quo is honestly just a direct recipe for failure. Relying on the whole "this is the way we've always done it" mentality is no longer a viable business strategy. Organizations have to adapt, and they do that through innovation.
Section 1. Innovation versus continuous improvement.
This sets up a fascinating intellectual boxing ring, doesn't it? Like, where exactly does continuous improvement end and true innovation actually begin? Continuous improvement, which we know is the bread and butter of quality management systems, relies on process control, extreme predictability, and ultimately a goal of zero failure. When something fails in quality control, people go crazy, right? They put a red cross on it, they label it, and they make absolutely sure it never happens again. But true innovation? That lives on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. It literally requires a high degree of uncertainty, fundamental sweeping changes, and a really massive appetite for taking risks.
Section 2. Redefining risk and failure.
So, to truly innovate, an organization has to completely flip its relationship with failure. You have to step out of that cozy comfort zone where success is basically guaranteed and walk into a space where failure isn't just possible, it's actually expected. There's this great story about Thomas Edison at a conference. When someone asked him how he knew his carbon filament for the light bulb was the one, he said he had tried 900 different elements before it. And when that person suggested he had failed 900 times, Edison corrected them on the spot. He didn't see 900 failures, he saw it as learning that 900 materials didn't work. For him, it was just a mandatory learning lesson on the messy path to success.
And sometimes that innovative mindset is forged by extreme constraint. Just imagine sitting in a job interview and being asked, what would you do if you were stranded in space with nothing but a matchbox? Just like being stuck in space with a matchbox forces some incredible out-of-the-box human creativity, a total lack of resources often drives the biggest leaps in innovation. When survival is on the line and you don't have infinite capital or a cushy safety net to fall back on, we humans become remarkably creative.
Section 3. Tech-driven customer experiences.
Okay, so how does all this out-of-the-box thinking manifest in the real world? Well, through emerging technologies. These are the tangible drivers that let businesses analyze mountains of raw data to predict entirely new opportunities. Whether it's AI crunching massive numbers to foresee problems we can't even comprehend, or cloud computing letting companies scale up overnight without worrying about physical data centers, these tools are making industry processes so much smarter. They take raw, chaotic data, spin it into actionable knowledge, and generate immense value.
To really put this into perspective on a consumer level, think about this staggering number, $225,000. That is the amount the average woman drops on cosmetics over her lifetime. I mean, that's a massive chunk of a personal budget, but it's also a gargantuan market opportunity.
And that right there is exactly why heavyweights like L'Oreal and IKEA are going all in on augmented reality apps. If you're spending that kind of cash over a lifetime on makeup, or you're dropping $1,000 on a couch, you want to know it's going to work for sure. AR lets customers hold up their phones and instantly see exactly how a shade of lipstick looks on their face or how that new sofa fits into their living room, all in a matter of seconds. It totally removes buyer friction, elevates the whole customer experience, and pretty much guarantees satisfaction before a credit card is even swiped.
But hey, this goes way, way beyond retail. We're talking about disruptive tech that literally saves human lives. We're seeing AI being used in the medical field right now to make incredibly complex, informed decisions about patient care. We've got medical drones zipping across the sky, delivering critical, life-saving medicines to isolated rural areas. We're even seeing wearable breast cancer detectors. This is technology fundamentally changing the human condition for the better, which is just incredible.
Section 4. The ethics of innovation.
Now, we do have to pause and ask a pretty tough question. Just because we can do something with new technology, does it mean we actually should? This is a vital distinction to make. If someone invents a hyper-efficient new way to do something terrible, well, by definition, that's an innovation. It's a new method of achieving a goal. But if we look through the critical lens of ethics, it is certainly not an improvement. Not everything that can be built should be built. As we navigate these wild breakthrough innovations in data science and AI, ethics has to play a paramount role in steering us into the future.
Section 5. Blueprint for Sustained Success.
So, to transform all that raw, chaotic creativity into sustainable innovation, an organization needs a really sturdy infrastructure. It's interesting. Official ISO documentation actually treats organizations like living, learning social organisms. And just like living creatures in nature, they have to adapt, mutate, and innovate to survive in environments that are constantly shifting. A rigidly structured organization that absolutely refuses to bend, it's just going to break.
And this right here is where quality management systems like ISO 9000 step in as our essential guardrails. They ensure that even while we're taking these massive, wild, innovative risks and adapting on the fly, we are still operating effectively. We're still meeting our customers' requirements, hitting our objectives, and staying perfectly aligned with compliance and regulatory standards. It's all about striking that perfect balance between aggressively pushing the envelope and maintaining operational stability.
Ultimately, if you want to survive the long game, you need a combination of 3 core pillars working together in perfect harmony. First, you've got to fulfill both your present and future customer needs through continuous innovation. Second, you must embrace sustainability in your overarching strategy, because let's face it, resources are finite. And third, crucially, you have to ensure absolute governance, compliance, and transparency. Because think about it. Even if you build the most groundbreaking, innovative product on the planet, if your organization lacks transparency and ethical grounding, society simply won't accept you in the long run.
So I want to leave you with this one provocative thought to chew on today. As the world speeds up and this chaotic VUCA environment becomes our permanent reality, is your organization just making safe, incremental improvements? Or are you actively embracing the uncertainty, learning from the sting of failure, and taking the bold risks necessary to truly innovate? Because in a world of nonstop disruption, playing it safe might just be the most dangerous risk of all.